Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and one of the innovative spaces that OLSA Tools works in has to do with tool handles. And they came out with this neat line of basically heat shrink handle wraps, and I did a video on that a while ago, so you can update, fix, modify tools by putting on different types of heat shrink handles. But they also now have what they call cold shrink handles. And what these are, it's a heavy plastic tube with the heat shrink or the cold shrink handle wrapped around it. And it's super tight, so what you can do is if you can slide the handle into this tube, you can probably put this handle onto it. It comes in 4 different flavors. We've got blue, green, black, and red. And they sell for a little under 15 bucks a piece. So I've got 3 different things I'm going to put them on. I have never tried one of these, so we'll see what happens. But the premise is there is this piece of plastic here, which represents the coil of hard white plastic that this tube is made of. So they have managed to get this cold shrink, rubberized, grippy, chemical resistant handle on this tube, but then I can remove the tube from underneath it. So what I would do is put the tube over the handle that I want to place it on, and then pull all the plastic that's this white part, and it will end up cinching down on top of it, the rubbery tube. So what do I have here? Let's go ahead and try it. First of all, I've got this shovel. This is actually an elephant steel shovel. It's a Japanese shovel, antique. In fact, it's kind of weird when, I used to think antiques were old stuff, but here's a Woodings Verona, and this is a little sledgehammer I've got, and I really like this thing. I want to hang on to it. You can see, what does that say? Wear safety goggles. See a little bit of stuff there. But anyway, this is actually a USA made, I believe, sledgehammer, but I like the little tiny head on a really long handle. So I'm going to fix that because the handle's starting to split here. And I looked up some of this stuff about the company, and it turns out these things are now like considered vintage. So there's that. I assume maybe you can still get them, but I don't know. And then finally, I have got this poly hammer, this pretty heavy one here. This guy is out of Canada, and I thought I would put a handle on this because when this is cold, it also seems to be fairly slippery. So we'll do that. Now I have to decide on the colors. I think for sure on my this is what happens when you leave the dog, a puppy, out back with your shovel. Obviously the puppy's grown up because you can see the weathering and where he chewed it. But anyway, I'm going to put the blue on here. So that's going to be the first one I'm going to try. And then for this one, I don't know what would look good on that. Maybe red? What you do is you look in here and there is an arrow right there. That's where you pull. So this is what I'm going to be pulling, so that needs to be on the back. So I'll go ahead and do this one here. And then I think I'm going to go black, kind of do a black and orange theme. Where's my arrow? There it is. I can pull that out. So there's my black and orange. I can wedge that on there. And what you do is you line up the edge of the handle according to the edge of wherever you want it. So in this case, I might go back a ways and see if I can fold that around that sharp area. The others I'll probably go near the edge. Let's see which one to start with. How about this blue shovel? So here we go. We'll see what this is like. I'm actually going to put it this way so I don't knock the camera over if this ends up causing me to jerk with the thing. So here we are. So I'm going to get it started. I guess I'm going to have to hold on to this once it starts. So that's about lined up right there. And now I'm going to start pulling. So then I can grab this. Look at that go. That is pretty cool. That is worth price of admission right there. Okay, so what I learned there, this is how small it gets. That's also probably good to show you there. So this here, the size goes from about 15 millimeters to 40 millimeters, or approximately half an inch to an inch and a half. So that's what this one turned out like. Looks like I could go back a little. Let's try this one. So I'll slide it up, see what happens. Here we go. Now I know I probably won't knock over my camera. Come on. This one's tough because it's got to go around that handle. Maybe I'll assist it a little. Slide that up. There we go. That's how I can do it. Slide it around. Good to know. There. So I can get it to wheel around. And this is actually going on nicely there, so I can hang on to that. So, almost done. Thanks for your patience. Maybe I can lean it back. That works pretty well. Maybe add some force there. There we go. That's kind of cool. Wow, perfect. Look at that. Nice. Big improvement. Fold that back. So now let's do this guy here. Slide that over. Now the sledgehammer, I'm going to try to line that up a little bit more right near the edge. So about right there, if all goes well. Line that up. Looks like, oh, at this point I can slide it a little. In fact, I might try something here. I'm going to give a little bit more room. So you see this? I can slide that up and restart it. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. To line it up. I think, unless that doesn't want to move. Hope I didn't break this one. I need it lower. There we go. Yeah, I can. So I'm going to slide it back. Just playing around with these things. Okay. Slide it back a little bit more. Maybe I'll pull it back. Let's see what happens. Just adding a little bit of pressure to try to line that up. Little precision there. There we go. Pretty close. I think I stretched it a little too far. But anyway, there they are. So everything is better than where I started. Look at that. So there they are, the cold shrink handles from OLSA Tools. Pretty cool. Neat idea. It'd be fun if they made smaller ones too. You know, ratchet handles, things like that. But overall, I'm impressed. Wasn't sure what I'd think, but this is pretty neat. I like it. And with that, Doc out.